Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful bandeau floral motif top. So it's a quick approach, a bandeau top that has a floraless design at the base. And for the materials, you'll need winterking. It's a 4-ply acrylic yarn, or any DK weight yarn should do. So I needed about 1.5 balls. So just to be on a safe side, have 2 balls or a total of 300 yards of yarn, because each ball here is 150 yards. So if I needed about 1.5, that means in between 200 and 300 yards should be just enough for your project. And then you also need a pair of scissors, a 4.5mm crochet hook, a 3.5mm crochet hook, a measuring tape, and a darning needle. So the 4.5 is going to build the upper body of the top, which is the block design, and then the 3.5 is going to work on the lacy pattern at the base of the top. So you will need 2 crochet hooks for this project. So let's get started. Alright, so you're going to grab your hook, your 4.5mm crochet hook, and your yarn, and you're going to start off with a slip knot. Now you're going to make a chain that can stretch to your bust measurement minus 2 inches. So the bust measurement that I'm considering is 32 inches. So I'll make a chain that can stretch to 30 inches because 32 minus 2 is 30. So you're going to make a chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, just like that, all the way across until you have your chain measuring your bust measurement minus 2 inches when stretched. Alright, so I started off with a chain of 94, and as you can see here, I can stretch it to 30 inches, and my intended bust measurement is 32 inches, so this is minus 2 inches. So from here you're going to go into the second chain from the hook with a half double crochet. So this design is worked in US terms. So a half double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So that's a half double crochet. Continue to half double crochet in each and every chain all the way across. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. Keep working half double crochets until you come to the end of your row. So this is row 1. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the row, and I'm placing my last half double crochets into the very last chains. This is what you'll have for your row 1. For row 2, you're going to make a chain of 1, and this doesn't count as a stitch. After your chain of 1, you're going to yarn over and go into the very first stitch and half double crochet there, and then half double crochet in each and every stitch across. So what we are trying to do here is to build the block design that covers the bust, and then later on we shall work the lace pattern at the bottom of the top. So this is the block design. You're going to half double crochet all the way across. Alright guys, so we're coming to the end of the row, and you're going to place a half double crochet until the end of the row, until you place a half double crochet into the very last stitch of the previous row, just like that. And you're going to repeat this row 2 again and again until you have the thickness of the top that you want. I'll be letting you know how many rows that I did for mine, but I'm just going to keep building until I get the thickness of the top I want before I go onto the lace pattern. Okay guys, we ended up doing a total of 13 rows, but you can do as many rows as you need to get full coverage of your bust. Now we are going to go onto the lace design at the base of the top, and you're going to grab your yarn. You can put this aside. For the lace design, you're going to make a magic ring using a 3.5mm crochet hook, and then you're going to close it off with a chain, and then you're going to place 1 single crochet into the magic ring. After this, you're going to make a chain of 15, single crochet into the magic ring, chain 15, single crochet into the magic ring. You're going to repeat this 6 more times so that you have a total of 8 loops into the magic ring. So far we have 2. You're going to repeat that 6 more times so that we have a total of 8 loops. Chain 15, single crochet into the magic ring. So go ahead and I'll meet you back when I have my 8 loops. Alright, so I have my 8 loops. You have to cross check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you're going to pull on the tail of the magic ring to close it up. And then after your 8th loop, you're going to go into the very first single crochet of the round, and you're going to place 1 slip stitch. So insert your hook and pull through. From here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So after this, you're going to turn your work to the back, and you're going to tie these 2 loose ends together in a knot, a double knot, and then you cut off the excess yarn. So this is row 1 or round 1. We have a total of 8 loops around the magic ring. Okay, now we're going on to round 2. For round 2, you're going to get your yarn and start off with a slip knot and attach in any loop. So I'll attach my yarn here in this loop, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into the same loop, just like that. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 7, and then you're going to prepare for a double crochet and double crochet into the next loop, chain 5, and double crochet into the same exact loop. So the chain 5 spaces are going to form the corners. So chain 7, double crochet, chain 5, double crochet into the same loop, then chain 7, single crochet into the next loop, chain 7, double crochet into the next loop, chain 5, and double crochet into the same loop, chain 7, single crochet into the next loop, chain 7, into the next loop you're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 5, and 1 more double crochet into the same loop, chain 7, and single crochet into the next loop, chain 7, and double crochet into the next loop, chain 5, double crochet into that same loop, and then chain 7 and slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round in the next loop. So chain 1, and you're going to cut your yarn. You're going to turn your work to the back, and you're going to tie these 2 loose ends together in a double knot. And then get rid of the loose end, just like that. And this is what we have. Remember I said the chain 5 spaces will create the corners. So you can see the chain 5 spaces here. We are going to make our next motif. So this is our very first one. The next one is going to join onto this one. So go ahead and repeat the same process that you did for round 1 after the magic ring. And I'll meet you back when we are making our final round, which is round 2. So I'm going to go ahead and make a magic ring and make my loops of 15 around the magic ring for a total of 8 times, and then I'll be back to show you how to work round 2 when attaching onto what we already have. After your very first round, you're going to make sure that this motif is on the right side. So we're going to start attaching onto what we already have. So you're going to start off with a slip knot for your second round of this one that's unfinished, and you're going to attach your yarn in any of the loops, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet, make a chain of 7, and into the next loop you're going to place 1 double crochet, and instead of chaining 5 you're going to make a chain of 3, and you're going to attach into any chain 5 space or into any corner of the motif that's finished. So into the chain 5 space you're going to attach and make 2 more chains to make a total of 3, because we have 3 here and 2 here, and then you're going to go into the same exact loop with 1 double crochet, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 4, go into the chain 7 loop and attach your chain 4 by pulling through the loop, and then make a chain of 3. That makes a total of 7 chains, because we have 3 here and 4 here, and then you're going to go into the next loop with 1 single crochet, chain 4, attach your yarn into the next chain 7 loop, chain 3 to make a total of 7, and then into the next loop you're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 3 instead of 5, so chain 3 and attach into the next chain 5 space, and then chain 2 more to make a total of 5, and then place 1 more double crochet into the same exact loop. So we have attached one side of the motifs, and this is what we have. From here you're going to make a chain of 7, single crochet into the next loop, chain 7, double crochet into the next loop, chain 5, double crochet into the same loop, chain 7, single crochet into the next loop, chain 7, double crochet into the next loop, chain 5, double crochet into the same loop, chain 7, and slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the previous round. The first single crochet of the round, sorry, not the previous round, the first single crochet of the round. So we've basically done the same exact thing. The only difference is we were joining at this point in between the two motifs. So after this you're going to make a chain of 1, cut your yarn, turn your work to the back, and tie the 2 loose ends into a knot. Alright, now that we know what to do, you're going to go ahead and keep adding more motifs sideways, because these are supposed to go along the base of the top, as you can see here. So we have to make enough motifs that can run across. So I'm going to continue to make these motifs until I have enough to run across, and I'll also be giving you the calculations to consider while determining the number of motifs to put at the base of your top. Alright guys, we're going to keep building onto our motifs. You can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and those are the ones that I need to be placed at the base of my top. As you can see, just eyeball and make sure you have a good stretch from the beginning to the end of the top. So you can see here and on this side. So we are now going to do the calculations of how many loops to do on the top in order to attach onto the lower piece. So you're going to count the number of stitches at the base of the top. Mine is 93. I have a total of 93 stitches at the base of my top here. A total of 93 half double crochets. And then we're going to count a few things here on our motif. We're going to count this one in the corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, where the 2 motifs meet. You're going to also count that point. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then the next chain 7 space is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 25. So I've been counting the chain 7 spaces as well as the corners, or where the 2 motifs meet. and then the corners on the edge. So we're going to go back to our calculation. So 93, or the number of stitches you have at the base of your top, divide by x is going to be 25. The 25 is what I've counted on my motifs. So we're going to divide this. X is equal to, get your 93 stitches or whatever number of stitches you have at the base of your top, the half double crochet stitches, and divide it by the number that you've gotten after counting across your motifs. And I have a total of 3.72. I'm going to just round it off, roughly 4. So I'm going to create some loops at the base of my top, and in every 4th stitch I'll place a single crochet. But while I'm making that row, I'm going to be attaching onto the motifs on the lower end. So our magic number is 4. So just get the number of stitches at the base of your top and divide it by the number that you got after counting across your motifs, and then get the final number. If you have 3, that is your magic number, but for me I have 3.72, which is roughly 4 stitches. So let's see how to use this number here that we've gotten. Alright, so you're going to grab your yarn and your hook, and make sure your work is on the right side. Just turn it around like this, and we're going to start from this end. You're going to attach your yarn into the very first stitch, and then you're going to make a chain of 4. Actually, let me first make a single crochet into the first stitch, and then make a chain of 4, and attach into the corner, chain 5, chain 3, and then on the base of the top you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th. Because our magic number was 4, we're going to be skipping 3 stitches on the top, and then we single crochet into the 4th. Alright, so chain 4, attach into the chain 7 loop, chain 3, skip 3 stitches on the top, and single crochet into the 4th. So just like that. Chain 4, attach into the next chain 7 loop, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and into the 4th you're going to place a single crochet there. Okay, so this is what we have. Then chain 4, attach into that point where the 2 motifs meet. Just find a stitch there and attach, chain 3, skip 3 stitches on the top, and single crochet. So we're going to just go all the way across. Chain 4, attach into the next chain 7 loop, chain 3, skip 3 stitches on the top, and single crochet into the 4th. So this is what you'll have. You're going to go ahead and keep joining until towards the end of your panel. Alright guys, I went all the way from the beginning towards the end, and I had to change a few things here to account for the 0.75, actually 0.72. Remember this remainder here, this was going to end up way longer than the top, so I started skipping two stitches and then going into the third towards the end, so that this can sit perfectly well onto what we already have. So from here you're going to attach into your very last corner, and you're going to place 1 double crochet on the edge of the top. So you're going to make your chain of 1 and cut your yarn, and let's see what we have right now. Alright, so this is what we have. This is what your top will look like. Alright, we're now going to fold over our top like this. Make sure the right side is on the outside. Just fold your top like this, and this is what you'll have. And then you're going to make a very simple chain of about 250 chains that we are going to lace up at the back of our top. So you're going to grab your yarn and make a slip knot and make your chain of 250 to 300 chains. Alright, now I have my 250 chains. I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. And you're going to go ahead and weave in all your tails. You're going to get rid of all the tails on your top. So get rid of all your loose ends. Just turn your work to the back side and weave in all your tails. Once you get rid of all the loose ends, you're going to get your chain that you just made, and you're going to lace it up at the back of the top. Alright, you're going to fold your chain into half like this, and you're going to start lacing up at the back of the top. So go into the very first row and pull through, and do the same on the opposite side, just like that. Then you're going to skip about 3 rows. This is going to depend on how close you want your lace up to be, so you can skip fewer rows or more rows depending on the effect that you want at the back of your top. And then skip 3 rows and lace up into the 4th row. Alright, so this is what we have right now. You can decide to also lace up into the lace pattern. So you go into the chain 7 space and the chain 7 space on the opposite side, and then you go into the chain 5 space and the chain 5 space in the corner at the base of the opposite side. So this is what we have, guys, at the back. Then from here you're going to just tie a knot. So you're going to cut off the excess yarn. Alright, so we're going to clean up the bottom edge of the top, and we're starting with the chain 5 space in the corner. You're going to attach your yarn and place 2 single crochets, and then in the chain 7 space you're going to place 1, 2, 3 and 4 single crochets. Then in the next 5 single crochets in this chain 7 space, and then you're going to go into the next chain 7 space with a total of 5 single crochets. Just like that. And then in the chain 5 space you're going to place 2 single crochets and 2 single crochets on this side. And then in the chain 7 space you place 5 single crochets, 5 single crochets into the next chain 7 space. Into the next chain 5 space you're going to place 2 single crochets, the next chain 5 space 2 single crochets. So what we are trying to do here is to get something that looks like a flat edge at the base of the top, so that we don't have the loops popping through. So I think you can see that as compared to what we have here. We have longer loops, we have shorter loops, so we're trying to clean up the bottom edge of the top. So continue to do that all the way across, placing 5 single crochets in each chain 7 space, and then into the chain 5 loops you only place 2 single crochets. Alright, so we've made it all the way across the base of the top. You're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through and weave in this end as well. Alright, so we're through with the base of the top, and another thing that I adjusted, I laced up my top at the back up to the last row of the block pattern. I didn't go into the lace design, so I changed that, and you'll just tie at the base of the block pattern, and this is what our top looks like. So let's see the final piece.